Stinky, stinky fur face.
Sup, y'all, it's your boy Sneaky Fartface. So, Firewatch, I got a high recommendation to try this game. It's been on my game list for some time now. I got it almost when it first came out, and it's always been on the back burner. I've been playing other games, and I said, hey, one day I'm going to get around to this, but I've heard how good this game is, so I'm finally going to give it a try. So, I'm going to show up, we're going to play. Here we go. Alright, I'm playing this at like 4 in the morning, and the coffee is still not kicked in yet, so my commentary is a bit sleepy. Alright, Boulder, Colorado, 1975. That's a good year, from what I hear. Believe it or not, I wasn't alive. You see Julia. I don't see anything on the screen. What are you talking about? Okay, am I supposed to... Oh, wait, I think I'm supposed to hit A. Hold on. Yep. She's about your age, late 20s, laughing with well-dressed professors and grad students from nearby CU Boulder. You, Henry, are out drinking with your pals. You approach her. You are drunk. So what's your major? You're pretty. Let's go with, so what's your, major? You slur the word major and it smells like Coors. You give an awkward smile. Evolutionary biology, she says. I'm a professor. Cool, you reply. What's yours, she asks. She sniffs the air. Toxicology? That's actually a really good comeback. Okay. Was that a burn, you ask? She says, definitely. Worried you hurt your feelings, she asks if you want to split a cheeseburger. 1 week later, you are Julia's boyfriend. Oh. Ah, crap. Hold on, let me put my coffee down. One more swig. Alright, here we go. Use objects. Oh. Pick up a backpack. Oh, it's a cool truck. Man, I hope that's our truck. Yes, that's our truck. I wouldn't feel good about throwing that backpack in there with the lift gate down. Alright. You date her for over a year. She drives you absolutely nuts. That's great. You move in. You share an apartment near the school with a view of the mountains. You two drink beers out on the deck. You drink beer just about anywhere. Life is good. Julia wants to get a dog. There's a scruffy, undersized beagle. Julia is in love. She wants to bring it with her to class. There's also an intimidating but gentle-eyed German Shepherd. Nothing bad could happen to Julia while walking this dog. Alright, let's see. Yeah, let's get a German Shepherd. Man. Now, as far as, I don't know, for people who've been watching this long term, when it comes to curse words and stuff in the games, I'm not going to read them. It's not that I don't curse in my personal life, it's just on my YouTube channel I'm not going to, just because I don't want my son to ever be embarrassed by his dad one day, because ultimately I started this for him, so when he's older and he can watch these things. Alright, here we go. So, you adopt the Shepherd. Yeah, if you got a choice between a Beagle and a German Shepherd, you go with the German Shepherd. And you call him Mayhem? That's a great name for a German Shepherd. Alright, here we go. Alright, Mayhem's an excellent dog. He loves wrestling with you in the park and goes with Julia on her runs. Even though he's too big to bring to school, Julia loves him all the same. Mayhem is a friend, child, and pet all rolled into one. 1979. You talk out on the deck. It's summer, 9:30 p.m., and the heat still radiates off of the high desert. What do you think about kids, she asks. Kids? They're not very smart or good at much. I'm saying if you and I have a couple little idiots. That's pretty funny. That'd be pretty good one day. Why rush? Let's just say pretty good. In that case, we should probably get married. Yeah, I would like that, you say. These kids are going to be screwed up enough. It's probably for the best that their parents are hitched. You say she's absolutely right. Man, nice truck. Nice nice truck. All right, we need to. Oh, that's a cool truck. How'd the lift gate get put up? There. Thoroughfare trailhead. Pff, still waking up. All right, you're in their country. That is true. Yeah. Bears are not snuggly like in Winnie the Pooh. Bears will tear your stuff up. I forget to check in. Thoroughfare trail is not recommended for inexperienced hikers. Good thing I'm inexperienced. Alright, no fireworks. Okay. Is there a run? Oh, good. What? X? X is run? That's the weirdest button for run. Alright, 1980. So what's that, 5 years? I don't know, numbers aren't my thing. It's a Thursday night, and Julia is 4 hours late. She doesn't call, you're worried and getting angrier by the minute. She walks in after you've gone to bed. You know what, at least she walked in, she's alive, so that's good. She's not quite drunk, but she's clearly been having a fun time. You fight when she gets between the sheets. Let's see. You get mad, you ignore her. Well, ignoring the problem is just going to compound the problem. It's best to talk about it, so let's just say you get mad. It's okay to be mad, but it's how you handle your anger. Okay, you call her an inconsiderate butthole. She tells you to... Oh man, how am I gonna substitute these words? Alright, Alright. She tells you to forget yourself and not be such a baby. You call her selfish. She knows you mean it and it hurts her feelings. Yeah, sometimes when you say things, once you say it, you can't unsay it. So you choose your words carefully. I've learned that the hard way sometimes, but I feel like it's part of life. You learn as you go. Alright, 1981. Julia still likes to draw. She draws plants from her research. She draws all the places you go. She draws you. You pose and flex like He-Man. You frolic like Victoria's Secret model. Yeah, we're gonna frolic. If you have the choice to frolic, always frolic. Very nice. Alright. Alright. Pushing X, the weirdest button for run. Alright, what's this say? 2 forks. Oh. Lookout tower. 8 more miles. Whew. Climb over. Alright, A makes sense to jump over things. That's a normal button. 1982. During the summers, you and Julia enjoy walking mayhem at night. Oh, German Shepherd. There's a festival in town that brings in folks from faraway places. One of them tries to mug you with a knife. Mayhem runs away. May me moo. Dog. Julia yells. She gets flustered and has trouble speaking when she is stressed. You confront the attacker. Scare them away. You beat his face in. Either one of those, the guy's still alive and he could come back with friends. So what do? Scare him away. I mean, are we confident in our scariness? Or do we beat his face in? God. It's not so much this choice, it's the consequence of the choice that I'm concerned about. Because if we beat him, he's coming back with friends. If we scare him away, he can still come back with friends. I think between the two, scaring him away is the better option because he would have way more of a reason if we beat him up. So let's scare him away. Hopefully this is okay. You reach into your pocket like you've got a gun to threaten to kill him. You manage to scare all three. Oh wait, you manage to scare all 3 of you. He runs away. You manage to scare all 3. Okay, so you scare yourself, you scare her, and then you scare this guy. So that kind of sounds like a comedy scene right there. Julia asks to take a different path from the day forward. From that day forward. Sorry guys, I'm still waking up. You say okay. You don't want to go that way either. From then on, you walk by the river. It makes it sound like this guy's a troll who only stays on that one path. 1984. Plans to have kids go waylaid by work. That's a good word that needs to come back, waylaid. Julia gets offered a job at Yale. Yale is in Connecticut, 2,000 miles away. It's a great job. associate department chair. She wants to move. You absolutely do not. Convince her not to take the job. Agree if she commutes back and forth. Oh, man. You know what? Sometimes when you're in a relationship, if you want to make it work, you got to make compromises. And you have to decide what's truly important. And if it is not important enough for you to be with them, then maybe you shouldn't be with them. I would say that there's an option that if it means that much to her, you go with her, and you make the most of it. Like you can enjoy being in a place. I convince her not to take the job, then she's gonna resent you always. Agree if she commutes back and forth. You're not her dad, so you should just agree. But that's just my personal opinion. All right, agree if she commutes. I'm only agreeing with we should agree with her. She flies back and forth? Oh my god. Alright. I think this guy's a little bit controlling a little bit. You ask her if she'll commute back and forth. You don't want to move to Connecticut. She says that'll be hard, but she'll do it for you if you won't move. Now look, she's compromising. Why couldn't we just say yes, let's go? Whatever. You tell her not to pass it up if that's what she wants. Oh, how kind of you. Whatever. Alright, she agrees. She flies back to Boulder 3 times each semester. Dude, this guy's a butthole. Alright. 1985. Julia is sent home from Yale on paid leave after having an episode. What? Oh, she lost it on a colleague for borrowing books that were important to her research. She didn't remember she had happily loaned them to him just 2 days prior. Dude, alright, that's a simple apology. Why put her on leave? How bad was this episode? She was found crying in the stairwell. Probably from all the stress of having to do all this travel. And I think there's more going on behind the scenes of this guy's telling her, yeah, you could take the job if you commute unrealistically. So maybe she's in an abusive relationship with this guy. Alright, here we go. You say that maybe you guys should talk to someone about it. You make macaroni and drink wine and try to forget about it. One of these is a healthy approach. One of these is a unhealthy approach. You don't want to bury your problems by pushing them off and drinking your problems away. That again will compound it, and it'll make it into a bigger problem that will just explode. So, you say that maybe you guys should talk to someone about it. Absolutely. After seeing multiple doctors and having many tests, they are worried that Julia might be suffering from early onset dementia. She is 41. Aww. Both decide to keep it a secret for now. What? That's the only option? Ah, that's sad. Here's a book. Journal. You know what? I'm gonna have to blur that out. Great. Man, editing is a butthole, and I do it all myself, so... Alright. That's what you get for posing frolically, like a Victoria's Secret model. Alright. Mayhem is getting older. He's got silver hair down his back and slows down at night. You and Julia walk him to the bar to see your friends, and it feels like nothing has changed. Julia goes back to the university. 1987. That's a good year. Alright, Julia's affliction gets worse. She can't remember things in class. Her research is in shambles. She drives her car to the next town over for no particular reason and has to be brought home by the police. She is devastated. She is sent home on permanent medical leave. Ah, that is sad. Some days you get the Julia who calls you a dope and your unborn children little idiots. Other days you get a stranger. She pulls you into bed to make love. After 5 minutes, she goes into a panic, believing her dad is at the door. You tell her family. They are crushed and begin to make trips to and from their home in Australia to visit her. For a while, your friends come by with little things to brighten the day. She gets worse. 1988. You spend your days following Julia around the house. You count the seconds between the 2 weekly visits from Daniel, the nurse. He suggests that Julia could live somewhere with 24-hour care, a home. It sits with you for a couple months. Oh, man, this is one of the hardest choices for families to make. Alright, you decide to move her into a full-time care facility. You are determined to take care of her by yourself. So, alright, my mom had to make this choice with my grandma, and that's a tough choice because, like, regardless what's best for them, you're gonna feel personally guilty, like you're giving up on them, and you're gonna feel like you're selfish because you're gonna be like, but I could have done this, this, and this, and if only I wasn't selfish, I could come home after work and give them all of this care. But who's gonna take care of them while you're at work? And while you're at work, if they get out of the house and God forbid something happens to them, they get lost, they get hurt, you're then going to blame yourself either way, being like, well, if I wasn't selfish, I would have sent them to a 24-hour care facility. So it's like, regardless what you choose, you're going to make yourself the bad guy, and you're going to feel guilty. Oh man, I hope I am not in that position one day, which is selfish of me to say, with my own mom. But seeing her go through it, God, I have a lot of respect for my mom for being in that position, for my grandma, her own mom. Alright, let's see. You decide to move her into a full-time care facility. You're determined to take care of her by yourself. See, like, you don't want Julia feeling like you're giving up on her, but you also want her to be taken care of. And what happens if you're at work as she gets out? Especially if, like, you guys were mugged. What if that same mugger remembers you from all those years ago, and he shows up and he's like, I remember you, and then he pulls out his knife like a pirate, and then he has a peg leg for some reason, and then he has an eye patch, because every pirate has an eye patch. I'd say a full-time care facility, not because we don't care about Julia, but just because if we go to the grocery store and something happens, we're going to blame ourselves. But by putting her in this 24-hour care, like, we're still going to blame ourselves. It's a lose-lose. You're going to feel like a piece of crap either way. But full-time care, at least she'll be safe. Oh, I need more coffee. Alright, here we go. Alright, I wonder how far we got. Alright, let's push X, the weirdest button for run. Alright, I get A being jump, and I'm good with that. But what about one of these triggers? I have 2 triggers. Either one of them could be run, or pushing down a joystick, that could be run. Her family agrees with your decision. You find a fantastic place in Boulder and move her there. You see her every day, then every other day. You go out to the bar with your old friends. It's not the same. You get the feeling that every wife tells her husband, if you ever put me in a home like Henry did, I will cut your male parts off. You slowly decide to not see your old friends that much. 1989, Julia's sister, Susan, moves to Boulder to be close to her. She visits every day. You go with her some of the time. Susan buys you an old typewriter and urges you to use it if you won't see a therapist. You won't. You've always really liked Susan. Oh man, I see where this is going. Excuse me. Alright, months go by. Mayhem dies. Oh my god. And that's how you're going to talk about that? Alright, hey, dogs are better than humans. Like, so the death of a dog is pretty hardcore. Oh man, I lost my dog a couple years ago. I had just put the kids to sleep, and I come back to her bed, and she had passed away while putting the kids to sleep, and it was so hard. It was so hard. Alright, here we go. Julia doesn't remember him when you tell her. Oh, she doesn't remember the dog. Sometimes it takes her a minute to lock in on you. In the back of your mind, you believe it's because you see her less and less. And seeing her less and less makes her forget you more, you think. Summer is coming, and you see an ad in the paper for a job. Are you kidding? You're gonna take the job. You take it. Oh, there's not even an option. Oh, man, this is screwed up. You know what? Life is screwed up. If you have this ideal picture of what your life is going to be. Reality is going to shake you up. Life is messy. And it's everyone's life. That's just reality. Um, there's something that I've learned called limerence. And we do it often as kids. And it's like looking at this picture perfect thing and idolizing things. But life will grow you up and snap you out of limerence. And sometimes it takes a good chunk of your life before you wake up to reality. That's one of life's hardest lessons. But it's also growing up. So, when I was younger, elementary school age, I was in the Boy Scouts, and I went up on one of these towers, and I think that's when I developed my fear of heights. It takes forever to get up on one of these, so like this must be a tiny one, but like these things, like up close, are massive, like a low taper fade, and like it's such a cool view once you're up there. But man, like standing at the railing was the first time I think of my life that I was that high up, and I looked down and I was so scared because the wind was blowing and I was tiny, so I was little stinky fart face, um, and yeah, it was like my first realization of how small I was in this world, and I was like, oh my god, I could fall and die, and this would be scary. All right, so really quick, we're gonna peek around the corner. All right, tactical lean. All right, turn on the power. I'm guessing it's this big red button. Yes. Why is this boarded up?
Hello, Two Forks Tower.
Oh, where's the radio? Oh, there you are.
Hello? Whoever this is?
It's Henry, right?
Yeah.
I'm Delilah.
Yeah, that's what the guy said on the phone.
So, what's wrong with you?
No.
Excuse me?
People take this job to get away from something. So, what's wrong?
What's wrong with you?
That's a great idea. Go ahead.
Look, I just hiked for 2 days, so I don't really follow whatever it is you're doing right now.
You take a stab at what's wrong with me.
Fine, then can I sleep forever?
Sure, buddy. Okay, now go ahead.
Killed 3 ex-husbands, you're rebelling against mom. Nobody back home can stand you. Ooh, that's a funny one. Oh, come on.
Okay, you're probably out here because nobody back home can stand you. Which, after this brief introduction, is not a big shock.
Ouch. I'll chalk that up to you being tired and grumpy.
Well, I'd better get some sleep then.
One sec. Now it's my turn.
Okay, good night, bye.
Let's see. I don't know anything about you, but 9 times out of 10, folks out here simply got dumped.
Huh, is that it?
Close?
Good night.
Good night. Welcome to the job.
Firewatch. Alright, so, I mean, I get the sense that this guy's kind of a butthole. Like, the first conversation, he's already insulting this lady.
Good morning, Henry. Well, I guess good afternoon. You probably slept like a rock. Anyway, there's still a few hours of daylight to get some work in. I can see you at your desk, so call me when you're ready.
Alright, so, answer radio call. You know what? We just did the full introduction. We're on day 1. We're up here in the fire tower. I think this is a good intro. So, we're going to do a full playthrough. We'll call this part 1. Already, I mean, that's a sad backstory leading up to this. And I think Julia's still alive. From what I gathered, we took this job, and she's still in that 24-hour care place, and the guy we're playing as is kind of a butthole, so that sucks. I'm curious to see where this is going. Given the recommendations, I mean, this guy's a butthole, so I really hope that it takes off, to where this guy has some redeeming qualities. So this has been Sinking Fireface. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Drop some deuces, and I'll see you in the next one.